Welcome guys to another monster how to rune video. So in this video we're gonna be learning how to rune my boy Theomars right here. I got a request from someone who asked me to do a video on him. I wasn't really going to do a video on him just because a lot of people seem to not really like Theomars, and I don't know why. So this is my Theomars, really slow and kind of decent attack. Health is pretty low. Crit damage is okay. He's overall decent. I wouldn't say he's good, but he's decent. He does what he has to do. His power, he's mainly built for power, or else I would put speed on him, or more speed. But if you put speed on slot 2, he loses power, and I would rather have more power than not have power. Plus, I have him ruined this way for a very specific reason. So, let's look at Theomars' skills. So, his first skill, his basic attack, does 200% attack as damage and does extra damage to a target that has frostbite. So, that's cool. His second skill, or I would say his first skill, because I mean you can't really control this one, but you can control this one, and I love this skill. This skill hits so hard it makes no sense whatsoever. It's on a really low cooldown in case you don't have him as your soul link, but if you do have him on your soul link, it only costs 3 mana and you can spam this skill and it just does so much damage because it's based off 830% of his attack. And then for some reason, or actually, it's based off 830% of his attack plus 124% attack based on target's frostbite level. So if the more frostbite level they have, the stronger he hits. And then he has a chance to freeze them. So that's really nice. And then his second skill, which I believe is the one that applies the frostbite. Yeah, this one doesn't hit as hard, but I believe it applies frostbite. I don't think. Oh, this one applies frostbite too. That's cool. I didn't know that. I thought it was just this one. So yeah, he's gonna be dealing massive damage and freezing targets, which is honestly insane. And then, let's see. This one hits 3 times and each hit has a chance to apply frostbite, so technically you can get frostbite level 3 in one go, I believe. Yeah. And then what frostbite does is slightly decreases attack speed and movement speed and makes the target take damage by a certain ratio of its max HP every second. So obviously frostbite level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think that's how this goes. I'm not sure because after 3 frostbite they get frozen, so I guess we'll just go with that. And then this is the reason why I have him on a full attack build, because this is his passive, and basically when he dies he gets endure, which means he can't die. HP doesn't fall below 1%. Yeah, so he's basically unkillable unless you strip him for 21 seconds, which is really long, like extremely long. And then he gains attack speed up, level 10 attack speed up, which is also insane because he gets 110% more attack speed. And that is why I don't have attack speed on him, because he gets this. And he literally just takes off with this skill like he's like a machine gun. So that's why I have him build for like max damage to fully utilize that passive. If you build him for speed, he will hit more times with this, but he won't do as much damage. And I've had him be the last unit on my team and they popped his passive and he literally just hit all 3 units 3 times and all 3 of them died and he just soloed them because his endure lasts forever and he's just doing like 30 attacks a second. It's actually insane. Plus, like I said, this skill does a ton of damage and this one does a lot of damage too. And then finally his ultimate, which is just, you know, an attack. I don't really even know what this does. I'm pretty sure he just shoots basically this or this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to his ultimate attack. But yeah, he's a very good attacker. He sits far back and he's pretty hard to kill, honestly. Especially because, like I said, his endure lasts 20 seconds. Okay, so the way that I ruin my Theomars, again, for the passive specifically, is you want him to have really high attack because he scales off attack. Defense, honestly, usually I would say for your attack monsters you want at least 1,000 defense, but for Theomars, since he doesn't die, this doesn't matter. Like, it matters a little bit because you don't want him to just get one shot, but you shouldn't prioritize this as much as you would, for example, this guy. So, yeah, you know, try to get some defense, but if you can't, don't kill yourself over it. HP, you want it to have at least 30k HP, I would say, just so that, like I said, again, he doesn't pop his endure like right away. You want to make it so that he's a little tanky. I mean, this isn't really tanky, but he won't die right away at least. His attack speed, honestly, the higher attack speed you can get, the more damage he will probably do because he will do more attacks. It kind of makes sense, you know, you hit more times, you do more damage. But the way I see it is you can also do more damage and hit slower, and it'll kind of be the same thing because of his passive. His passive will literally make up for this speed. His crit rate, you want him to crit so he can actually do damage. If he doesn't crit, he won't really do that much damage, and I believe he doesn't have his elemental god skill like he did in the other one, in the regular summoner war, so you actually want some crit rate on him. I know it's Elemental King, by the way. Crit damage, you want to put some crit damage on him. My crit damage is kind of low because of the way I have mine ruined, and you'll see why in a second. You want to have some decent accuracy on him so he can land his Frostbite. If he doesn't land Frostbite, you are missing out on a lot of damage. So, you know, make sure you throw some accuracy on there if you can. And precision, you can add some precision, some evasion as well. These will help, but don't prioritize these. If you don't get any, that's fine. So the way I have my Theomars ruined is Rage Blade. And here's why. I have my Theomars on attack, attack, attack. And the reason for that is because I just want him to have the most attack possible since he scales off attack. If he scaled off like targets max HP or something, I would add more crit damage, but he scales purely on attack. So I just put the most attack possible on him, which is why I go Rage, to make it easier to put some crit damage in there. However, you can go attack, crit damage, attack. He might have some lower power if you do that, but if you have a really good crit damage rune, you can go ahead and throw it on him. Why not? I did have attack crit damage on attack on him before, and he was decent, but I prefer this attack percent on all 3 build just because he does more damage this way. As long as you have decent crit damage, if you do triple attack and you don't even have over 100 crit damage, then you should probably just go with crit damage down here, because at that point it's not really worth it. I would say that you probably want to go triple attack if you can get over 110, 120 crit damage. If you can't, then just go crit damage down here and sacrifice some of the attack. That just makes more sense to me. This is like end, I wouldn't say end game, but pretty end game Theomars, I would say. This is like what you would aim for. So yeah, make sure that your runes have attack, crit rate, crit damage. This one's not a very good one, but you see, and if you can get attack speed in there, that's good. He also gets, this is like a perfect rune for him: HP, crit damage, crit rate, attack speed, attack percent. Like, this is the optimal rune for him. If you guys can just stack attack, crit rate, attack speed on all his runes and stuff, he'll do really good. But like I said, this is like a late game thing. If you can't do this right away, that's fine. If you just started the game though, what I would recommend for you is don't worry about the set and just, use whatever you got. Let's see. Let's save this here just so I don't lose it. So if you just started the game, I wouldn't worry about sets very much. To this and this. So let's say I just started the game. Obviously, if you just started, you're not going to have all these runes and stuff. But let's just say that you just started the game. So we're not going to worry about sets. We're just going to go, okay, Theomars. I know he needs attack. So attack percent. And then first rune you get that you see has decent substats. Let's see. Yes, I still have these runes. Don't judge me. So let's see, attack speed and crit rate and flat attack, sure. So we're just gonna throw that on him. If you don't have any sets, that's fine. Like I said, we're not worried about sets right now. We just started the game. And then, let's see, attack percent, crit damage, flat attack. Oh, here you go. Crit damage, crit rate, attack speed, attack percent. There you go. Equip that one on there. And then we're gonna go down here. If you don't have a crit damage rune, then just go attack again. And this is the only thing you have. There you go. And then let's get rid of that. And then put attack and crit rate. Okay. And then let's say this is the only thing you have. Sure. Then let's do this. I just almost built the set without actually trying to build the set. And there you go. So honestly, if you just started the game, don't try to build a set. Just throw on whatever you can and just try to stick to, he's an attacker, so try to add attack, crit rate, and crit damage. If you can't get... Okay, so here's the most important thing I can tell you guys. If you can't get over 70% crit rate, putting a crit damage rune right here, don't put a crit damage rune. You are just going to mess up your DPS that way. Just add a crit rate rune on here, or just try to get something with crit rate substats and try to get your crit over 70%. Because even if you have 200% crit damage, if you don't have at least 70% crit rate, he's just going to miss his crits, and at that point there's no point for you to have crit damage. So so if you just started the game, just throw on whatever you have. The way I see it is, if you have runes on them, you can use it. If you don't, you can't use it. So pretty simple logic there. And the rune sets and stuff will eventually come. I mean, eventually you'll start farming your dungeons and eventually you'll get more runes, so don't worry about it. And then for the mid game guys, I mean, if you're mid game, you should be able to throw a set on there. You just do attack or damage attack. Nothing crazy. I mean, like I said again, try to aim for at least, if you're mid game, you should be able to get at least 80, 75 crit rate and decent crit damage. And, you know, just throw on a decent set, nothing crazy. And the more you farm, you can eventually replace the runes slowly over time, and eventually you'll get to 100 power. An easy way to get attackers to 100 power is by going attack, attack, attack. This is just something that I've figured out through trial and error. For example, he's on attack speed, crit damage, and attack percent. He's at 95. But I guarantee you if I switch him to attack, 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 he would be over 100. For example, see, I just put the Theomars set on him and instantly over 100 because he is an attack, attack, attack. So, you know, I mean, these runes are better than the ones he had before, but still, you know, it helps to just do attack, attack, attack. For some reason, this game doesn't really value attack speed and crit damage as much as it does just regular base stats. So that kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. This isn't the only way you can rune Theomars. You can rune him on Swift Blade as well. If you do rune him on Swift, I would also go attack or damage attack. But you can go speed on Slat too. He does decent with speed because, again, his attack hits really hard. But I would just go attack or damage attack and try to get as much speed as you can. You can rune him Swift. You can rune him Full Blade. You can also rune him Fatal. You know, it's really up to what you have. And yeah, I would say that's pretty much it for this video for Theomars. I mean, he's pretty easy to play with. He's a straightforward unit. And yeah, so, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any units that you want me to build and you want to know how I have them built or how I would build them, please make sure to leave a comment down below. And I will try to make a video as quick as possible. Somebody also requested an Annabelle video, and my Annabelle is built, but she is just not skilled up. Every skill up is like 2k power, so 2, 3, and 2 more. That's what, 7 skill ups. That's 14k, so she'd be at like 101 if she was fully skilled. And then she's not even at Awaken 10, so I would say that she's built, but I just really don't like this number. So that's why I haven't done an Annabelle video, but she's built. So I'll probably do a video on her next, and I'll just try to ignore this as much as I can. So yeah, you know, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.